Shweta Venkateswaran, and I'm a principal software engineer at Splunk. Today, I'll be talking about beyond senior, demystifying the role of a principal or a staff engineer. The main goal of this presentation is twofold. One is to encourage more of you women engineers out there to pursue the IC track. And I know there is a mindset that after you reach a level like senior, you want to go into the management side of things. And many people find IC track maybe boring or think they have to just code or test for the rest of their lives. So they move to a different track. So I want to encourage more people to come on this side. And the second goal is to help other senior engineers who are out there who feel stuck and are not able to understand what are the expectations of the next level. I've been there, and I want to give you some tips and tricks and the expectations at that level. Hope this helps. So let's get started. Let's first talk about career ladders. So beyond senior, there are multiple career ladders. Every company has its own title. The title can vary, but the expectation from all these levels are kind of similar, or what I've jotted down here. So basically, from a principal or a staff, if you're a principal or a staff, you lead or influence a team in a deep problem space, or you can influence maybe multiple teams, or you have multiple projects under the same team if your team is big. So maybe mostly you're the technical lead. As a senior principal, you lead or influence a tribe, basically several teams. So you're basically the architect of an area. As a distinguished engineer, you lead or influence multiple tribes or multiple larger teams. So you have multiple areas. And as a lead, you set the technical direction for the entire company. So maybe a domain if the company is huge. So that's what you do. So IC track is not boring. We'll talk more about the expectations and other stuff going forward. First, before getting into expectations, let me talk about my journey. I've always been a consistently high performer. I've always had seamless promotions before the senior level. I would climb the ladder, I'll give my best, and I've always been easily promoted. But after reaching the senior level, I felt stuck. I started doing the same things better, same things faster, better than my peers, but I still did not understand why I'm not being promoted to the next level. So if there are a few of you guys who are stuck there, I completely understand, and this presentation hopefully would help you. I have had repeated rejections. So if you're there, I've been there too. So yeah. Now let's talk about the actual thing. What are some expectations from a principal or a staff engineer? This can slightly vary from company to company, but this should give you some idea about what are some of the expectations. Big picture thinking and technical strategy. So you are able to understand where the project is going and how it contributes to the broader roadmap. So you are someone who understands what to build, when to build, how to build. You shape the long-term technical vision for your project or whatever you are leading. So you need to identify all the technologies and frameworks that align with business needs. So for example, maybe Amazon RDS is something that you should choose, or maybe PostgreSQL, maybe something open source. So all these things should should be there in the back of your mind. You need to make technical trade-offs based on priorities, such as deferring optimizations for timely delivery. Maybe you have a GA coming up, so you can maybe build a viable product, but it's not that efficient. So you can take care of the technical debt for a later stage, but you need to take care of it because you're the lead, you're designing for it. Maybe cost is a concern. You can't afford to buy some of the products that are there in the market. So you have to work towards open source, but then you need to figure out who is going to maintain that for you, and how are you going to modify it? And there are a lot of questions, and these questions should play at the back of your mind always. You need to ensure that the architecture decisions align with scalability, maintainability, and future growth. So nowadays, whatever systems you build, there are like millions or billions of users using it. That should keep playing at the back of your mind. You need to know that this has to be scalable in the future. So am I building towards it? There might be a lot of data coming in. Am I read heavy? Am I write heavy? All those things should keep playing at the back of your mind, where you take the bigger picture and think about the technical strategy. Two, you should have cross-functional collaboration and business alignment. What I mean by that is you should start working with architects, principal engineers, product managers to align all the goals. Maybe the product has certain feature in mind. Maybe the technical direction is something else. So you need to align all those goals. You need to lead technical discussions on high-level designs or ERDs and ensure everyone is aligned. You're the one building that system, building that ERD. So you need to ensure that everyone is aligned there. Do challenge product decisions when necessary and advocate for engineering best practices. So there can be a product feature that's coming in that says they want to store certain metadata or certain data in your system, but you're the lead. You think that's not the right way for your system or your microservice. You need to call that out and build a system that makes sense to you technically. Prioritization, estimation, and resource planning is another skill that you need to start developing. You need to work with your product managers to define scope, prioritize your work, and ensure realistic estimations. Maybe the product manager would say, oh, this would take two days, or the manager would say it would take 2 days. No, but you're the technical lead. You need to think about code reviews. You need to think about testing it. You need to think about the entire roadmap. You need to add buffers. You need to set realistic estimations and think about all the necessary things for quality and for delivering the product. You should collaborate with managers to secure resources and allocate work effectively. So maybe you have a project and you have like 3 people working with you. And this project requires more effort and they are expecting you to deliver it within 2 months or so, then you need to call that out. You should call that out and let them know that you need more people to work on this because the delivery date is 2 months, else it might slip, rather than picking up the whole thing and doing it by yourself. You need to start thinking about who can work on what and ensure task distribution aligns with strengths. Basically, maybe a junior engineer can work on a bug. You can't directly, or someone who's a new joinee, they can't directly work on the entire implementation of a feature. So you need to think about that with keeping in mind all the timelines that you have in place. Code reviews, spike reviews, and engineering excellence is something that you should care about. So conduct thorough code reviews and spike reviews to maintain technical quality. Many a times you have certain expectations. Maybe the other engineer is building something in a brute force way, but you think of a different algorithm. You need to call that out. You need to ensure that the project is being built as expected and identifying potential design flaws early. So maybe think your system needs to switch between 2 data layers. Maybe it goes to Postgres or maybe it goes to a different database. And you want to keep the business flow as the same, but your engineer builds 2 different business workflows. Which is a tech debt for you. So you need to keep eye on all such things and clarify expectations and identify all the flaws that they are building. You need to maintain coding standards, security best practices, and operational efficiency. You should promote automation and best practices for maintainability. Now, what I mean by that is think you're building a new entire product or a feature. You need to think about testing. You don't want your engineers to go and do manual tests every time. It's okay to put in some effort and get in some people to build that automation test suite instead of just doing manual testing. So you should call that out. So all these things should start playing in your head. Team guidance and strategic mentoring. Team guidance becomes an important part of your role. You need to clarify expectations on user stories and guide your peers, your junior engineers, or whoever is working with you, answer questions and remove all blockers. You need to guide the engineers in growing their technical and leadership skills. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, it's the duty of the engineering manager to grow their career, but you are someone who would guide them and let them know that this project might be beneficial for their promotion. So it's no longer about you, it's about your team, and you need to help your manager let them grow. So you need to identify those projects. You need to encourage ownership and accountability within the team and foster a culture of learning through knowledge sharing and coaching. So for this, what I do is I have regular syncs with my team every week, where we just discuss about some technical blockers, or I encourage them to write a one pager on how they are designing the small parts of the code, and we all brainstorm on various approaches. So yeah, you need to start thinking about that. Yes, those were some of the expectations that a principal or a staff is expected to do. But then the main question is, what's the difference between a principal engineer and beyond, and an engineering manager, maybe? That keeps coming to our mind. So here some things to help you out. Usually a principal or a staff engineer, he focuses on technical strategy, the system architecture, and innovation. The manager would focus on project execution, team management, and delivery. You would drive the technical direction. He would ensure that the projects are delivered on time and the features are delivered on time. You mentor the engineers technically, you support them technically, solve their questions, their blockers, but the manager is responsible for their career growth, their performance, and their hiring. You make technical trade-offs and architectural choices, and they decide on resourcing, team priorities, and process improvements. You're basically just a guide to the manager, but you are mostly focused on all technical stuff. You have a big say on where the technical direction of your project or your company is heading. You work closely with architects, staff engineers, and cross-functional teams and PMs to again decide the technical direction. They work with PMs, leadership, and engineers to align the execution. So basically, as you grow, it's not just coding and testing. There is a lot more to it, and you have a big say on the technical direction, and people reach out to you for everything that is being built. Yeah, now that we spoke about some skills and some the differences, let's talk about someone who is at that senior level and who is trying to get to the next level, how they can get started. So the first thing is to have a pretty transparent career discussion with your manager. That's the most important. You need to know where are you at your career level, and it should be so you should clearly tell them, I am looking for a promotion. No one is going to I mean, you own your career, so you need to let them know that I am looking for a promotion. Work with your manager to identify projects that require cross-team collaboration, architectural decisions, and that helps you build on the skills that you require for the next level. Everyone might lack something in something and might do good in something else, but you need to identify and analyze with your manager what you need and identify, let your manager identify those projects for you. Building strategic relationships. It's important to have those one-on-ones with other architects, with other senior principal engineers, with your product managers, and build those relationships to network. So basically, you go and talk. Sometimes we are like, to get started, we don't know what to talk to them about and what's going on. So you talk about what you're working on, how you can contribute, ask them about the roadmap. Why are they thinking this is a good architectural decisions, or this is a good technical direction? There are many things that you could build on, and it would surprise you that you would have such good brainstorming sessions with your senior engineers that I would surely encourage for you to do that. it's important to seek feedback and embrace feedback when you're on this journey. You go and talk to your manager, ask him how you are doing, how you are doing and where are you after you build that plan. And you need to embrace that feedback. Many a times you get a lot of negative feedback saying you're not doing this, that's why you're not there yet, or you're not doing that. Rather than taking it personally, let's work on it, challenge yourself to work on it and get to the next level. Uh, get involved in cross-team initiatives, take tasks beyond execution. As a senior engineer, you're so much focused on execution. Maybe you own the entire building to testing and the old feature, but you're so much focused on execution that you need to start thinking beyond it. Start mentoring maybe someone else. Like if there is a new intern joining your team, start mentoring them. Think about projects for them, design a proposal and start mentoring them, challenge roadmaps, contribute to strategy wherever you can. And this is a continuous improvement loop. It's important to go back and ask, where are you? Is it working? Is it not working? And how I can improve. These are a few other resources for you to get started. There is this site known as staffeng.com that I really love. Every company has slightly different expectations from a principal or a staff engineer, and they have a lot of stories about many other staff engineers. Like some companies expect you to code, 50% of your time goes in coding, but some companies don't expect you to code at all. There is different levels of abstraction at every level. So I would surely recommend this site. It's always advisable to get a mentor who is already at that level, where you can brainstorm your ideas and you can let them know what's happening. Yeah, and these are some books that I found really useful that I would surely recommend. Now, is this a right track for you? I would surely encourage everyone to check this track out. If you love solving deep technical problems, influencing teams, and driving long-term impact without getting into management, then this is an ideal next step. And I would like to see more women engineers pursue this path.
Thank you, Shweta, for that talk and your candid sharing that it does take a few times to get that promotion that you've been working hard on, and for sharing all of the things that you need to do to get promoted to principal or staff engineer.